Dear Heavenly Father, the dawn breaks, painting the sky in hues of hope and promise, yet a shadow lingers in my heart, a disquiet I can no longer ignore. It's not the grand theatrical darkness of epic battles, but the insidious creep of anxieties, the unsettling feeling of being watched, judged, and perhaps even targeted by forces unseen, or perhaps all too human. This morning, I come to you not from a place of strength, but from a place of vulnerability, a place where the armor feels heavy, the sword feels dull, and the path ahead is shrouded in mist. I see it in the sideways glances, the whispered words that cease abruptly as I approach, the subtle shifts in behavior that betray a hidden agenda. It's in the professional rivalries that morph into personal attacks, the friendships that sour into calculated betrayals, and the constant pressure to conform, to compromise my values, to silence my voice. It's the silent war waged in the boardroom, the marketplace, and even within the supposed safety of my own community. I feel the weight of expectations, the sting of criticism, and the constant threat of failure looming over me like a storm cloud. It isn't a single identifiable enemy I face, but a constellation of challenges, a web of negativity spun by fear, envy, and malice. There are those who seek to undermine my efforts, to sabotage my progress, to diminish my spirit. They may not be wielding swords and shields, but their weapons are just as potent: gossip, manipulation, and the relentless erosion of trust. They chip away at my confidence, exploit my weaknesses, and prey on my insecurities. I confess, Lord, that I have allowed their negativity to seep into my soul. I have allowed their words to wound me, their actions to discourage me, and their presence to intimidate me. I have retreated into myself, built walls around my heart, and allowed fear to dictate my decisions. I have lost sight of your light, your strength, and your unwavering support. I have forgotten that I am not alone in this battle. This isn't about physical danger, though that possibility always lurks in the back of my mind. This is about the spiritual warfare that rages within and around me, the battle for my peace, my joy, and my very soul. It's about the temptation to succumb to bitterness, to retaliate in kind, to abandon my principles in the face of adversity. It's about the struggle to remain true to myself, to your teachings, and to the path you have laid out for me. I know that you have called me to be a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope in a world filled with despair. But how can I shine when I feel so dim, so weary, so vulnerable? How can I offer love when I am surrounded by hate? How can I speak truth when I am drowning in lies? How can I stand strong when my knees are trembling? I come before you now, stripped bare of pride and pretense, acknowledging my frailty and seeking your divine intervention. I need your protection, your guidance, and your strength to overcome these challenges. I need your wisdom to discern the truth from the falsehood, your courage to stand up for what is right, and your grace to forgive those who have wronged me. I am not asking for a life free from adversity, for I know that trials and tribulations are part of the human experience. But I am asking for the strength to face these challenges with faith, with courage, and with unwavering trust in your power. I am asking for the discernment to recognize the enemy in all its guises, and the wisdom to respond with love and compassion, even when I am tempted to retaliate with anger and resentment. I am reaching out to you, Father, for a shield against the shadows, a light to pierce the darkness, and a strength to overcome the negativity that surrounds me. I need your presence to be my constant companion, your word to be my guiding principle, and your love to be my unwavering foundation. I am ready to surrender my fears, my doubts, and my insecurities to your care. I am ready to embrace your will, your purpose, and your plan for my life. I am ready to fight the good fight, not with earthly weapons, but with the power of your love, your truth, and your unwavering grace. I seek not vengeance, but deliverance. I seek not victory through force, but triumph through faith. Thinking now about the nature of protection, I realize it's not merely about deflecting external threats, but also about nurturing an inner sanctuary. A fortress of the spirit, if you will. The world hurls its barbs, no doubt, but the true damage occurs when those barbs find purchase within our own hearts, taking root as self-doubt, resentment, or despair. Thus, the armor I seek isn't just a tangible barrier against outward adversity, but a cultivating of resilience within. In truth, I've often found myself my own worst adversary. My inner critic, honed by years of perceived failures and societal pressures, can be far more relentless than any external detractor. It whispers insidious doubts, magnifies shortcomings, and paints a bleak picture of the future. It convinces me that I am not good enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough of the blessings you have bestowed upon me. Consequently, I ask for the strength to silence that inner voice, to replace its negativity with your unwavering truth. Allow me to see myself as you see me, a flawed but beloved child, capable of growth, redemption, and immeasurable potential. Turning to the specific challenges at hand, there's the matter of navigating professional terrain fraught with ambition and competition. It's a landscape where integrity is often sacrificed at the altar of success, and where the pursuit of personal gain can overshadow ethical considerations. It's tempting to play the game by their rules, to engage in the same tactics of manipulation and deceit that others employ. However, I know that such compromises would ultimately erode my soul, leaving me hollow and empty. Instead, I implore you to grant me the courage to remain steadfast in my principles, to conduct myself with honesty and fairness, and to trust that your favor will ultimately prevail. Consider, too, the subtle but pervasive influence of societal expectations. The pressure to conform, to achieve, to accumulate material possessions can be overwhelming. It's easy to get caught up in the relentless pursuit of worldly validation, to measure my worth by external standards, and to lose sight of what truly matters. Therefore, I beseech you to help me resist the allure of fleeting pleasures and superficial achievements. Grant me the wisdom to discern true value from false promises, to prioritize spiritual growth over material gain, and to find contentment in the simple blessings of life. Looking further at the need for strength, it must be acknowledged that there are times when direct confrontation is unavoidable. Times when I must stand up for what is right, even in the face of opposition and criticism. In those moments, I pray for the boldness to speak truth to power, to challenge injustice, and to defend the vulnerable. I ask for the fortitude to withstand the inevitable backlash, to remain calm and composed under pressure, and to respond with grace and compassion, even when provoked. Reflecting on this journey so far, it becomes evident that the protective shield we seek is not merely an external barrier, but rather an internal alchemy. It's the process of transforming vulnerability into resilience, fear into courage, and doubt into unwavering faith. Like a crucible refining precious metal, the challenges we face serve to purify our spirit, strengthening our resolve and revealing the inherent strength that lies dormant within. The true safeguard resides not in the absence of adversity, but in the cultivation of inner fortitude to navigate the storms of life with grace and unwavering conviction. Drawing these threads together, we see a tapestry woven from threads of humility, faith, and an ardent desire for divine guidance. The plea for protection transcends a simple request for deliverance from external threats. It embodies a profound yearning for alignment with a higher purpose, for a deeper understanding of our place in the grand cosmic design. It's about recognizing our inherent imperfections and seeking the transformative power of grace to mold us into the individuals we are destined to become. This transformative process requires a constant surrender of our will, a willingness to relinquish control, and an unshakable trust in the wisdom and benevolence of the divine. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer, yet no less demanding. It calls for a relentless commitment to self-reflection, a willingness to confront our inner demons, and a persistent pursuit of spiritual growth. It requires us to dismantle the walls we have erected around our hearts, to embrace vulnerability, and to extend compassion, both to ourselves and to others. Like a gardener tending to a delicate bloom, we must nurture our inner spirit, protecting it from the harsh elements of negativity and cultivating an environment of love, joy, and peace. As we pivot towards the final reflection, it's crucial to recognize that the battles we face are not isolated events, but rather integral parts of a larger narrative. Each challenge, each setback, each moment of doubt serves as an opportunity for growth, for transformation, and for a deeper connection with the divine. It is through these trials that we discover our true strength, our unwavering resilience, and the boundless capacity of the human spirit to overcome adversity. The protection we seek is not a passive state of immunity, but an active engagement with the world, armed with faith, courage, and an unwavering commitment to living a life of purpose and meaning. Therefore, as the sun climbs higher, casting longer shadows that eventually shrink and disappear in the full light of day, I understand that true protection isn't a magical ward or an impenetrable fortress erected between myself and the perceived dangers of the world. It's a metamorphosis, a continuous refinement of the spirit that allows me to meet those dangers with unwavering grace and a heart ablaze with unwavering faith. It's recognizing that the shadows themselves are not malevolent entities, but opportunities to discover the hidden strength within, the resilience forged in the fires of adversity. This realization shifts the focus from a defensive posture to an active embrace of the journey, with all its inherent challenges and uncertainties. It's about dismantling the illusion of control and surrendering to the divine current that guides our lives, trusting that even in the darkest valleys, we are held, supported, and ultimately led towards the light. The armor we wear is not steel and shield, but compassion and understanding. The weapons we wield are not swords and spears, but forgiveness and love. The battleground is not an external arena, but the internal landscape of our own hearts, where the true victory lies in overcoming our fears, embracing our imperfections, and extending grace to ourselves and others. The journey ahead remains veiled, of course, but the path feels surer, the steps more confident. The anxieties that gnawed at my spirit this morning have begun to dissipate, replaced by a quiet sense of resolve and a renewed commitment to living a life of purpose and meaning. The world may still hurl its barbs, but they will find less purchase, less power to wound. The inner sanctuary, once vulnerable and exposed, is now fortified with faith, hope, and an unwavering belief in the divine presence that dwells within. And so, I step forward, not with a guarantee of safety, but with a certainty of strength, not with a promise of ease, but with a readiness to embrace whatever challenges may come, knowing that with each step, I am guided, protected, and ultimately transformed. The true practice begins now, to meet each day not with fear, but with faith, to respond to negativity not with anger, but with compassion, to live not in the shadows of doubt, but in the light of unwavering love. Type Amen if you believe.